Though your heart seems to be in the right place and your points are well argued, I must strongly disagree with the conclusions that you draw, and I am frankly quite amazed that one such as yourself could draw them. You oversimplified my position in order to exploit what you believe to be its inherent fallacy, so let me return the favor with the following reduction of your argument to its simplest terms. We must limit our freedom of speech in order to protect our freedom of speech. You will, of course, object to this oversimplification, and you should, but when you stop to consider the words that are coming out of your mouth, is it really all that inaccurate as a summation? Throughout history, dictators of every stripe have told people that the only way to protect freedom is to limit it. In present-day America, we have a president whose policies reflect a mind that discards "give me liberty" or "give me death" in favor of "give me your liberty or I'll kill you." My intention in drawing this parallel is not to liken you to the tyrants that populate humankind's long and often sad history, as such comparisons would be hollow overkill tripe, but to warn you that you are flirting with the dark side here, and not the sexy dark side, the bad one. You make a number of claims regarding the use of pointed mockery and its place, or lack of place according to you, in social discourse, and all of these claims seem to be contingent upon the notion that freedom of speech suffers when it is used for such lowly aims. The truth is that ad hominem attacks, while not always the most appropriate approach to a debate, are not without their function. A sharp, clever, and applicable insult serves many purposes. For instance, they can be used to destroy the credibility of one's opponent. You may view this as a backhanded tactic with no place in modern discourse, and many would agree with you. But there is something to be said for largely bypassing the argument and instead attacking the mind that spawned it. This is permissible, A, when the attack points out personal tendencies and idiosyncrasies of the arguer that may have bearing on their stance on the issue at hand. B, when the argument presented is so lacking in poignance that there is no need to refute it other than to create a sense of solidarity among one's peers and ensure that impressionable young thinkers do not fall prey to blatantly fallacious worldviews in their formative stages. C, when you know that the insults will be funny. There's nothing more satisfying to me than making people laugh. Well, let's amend that. Aside from "this girl's butt," samurais running towards one another with their swords drawn and then hearing a clanking and/or a slashing sound and then seeing both of them standing back to back and wondering who lost the duel and then seeing one of them fall dramatically in slow motion, or getting blown into church by a Catholic schoolgirl who confesses it immediately afterwards, or this song, or jerking off to Japanese hentai depicting suspiciously under or overdeveloped girls being sexually assaulted but kind of digging it by tentacles, farting in an elevator where people have to get a big strong whiff and cannot escape. That's right, Brett. Telling children there is no Santa Claus and watching them cry, and LSD. There's nothing more satisfying than laughter. J. Russell Lynes once said, "If you can't ignore an insult, top it. If you can't top it, laugh it off. And if you can't laugh it off, it's probably deserved." When I insult someone, I do it because they deserve it. They cannot top it because I can always laugh off at their retorts or top them right back. And I exercise discretion, as this video should attest to. You and I disagree on this matter, but I have not once during this video's bloated meanderings levied a single insult at you. This is because your opinion is valid and well thought out, and you are generally a bright person deserving of my respect and courtesy. However, when there exists a person who shows nothing but idiocy, close-mindedness, and an aversion or perversion of logic and reason, then I will not extend to that person the exact same respect and courtesy that I extend to you. It is simply inconsistent and dishonest, not to mention unfair to all the people whom I genuinely respect. I will not participate in the misguided pageant of altruism that says we must all don smiley face masks and treat our most bitter ideological enemies as if they were our friends. I refuse to pretend to respect something or someone that I could not loathe more, simply because it offends some people's sensibilities. That is not my nature, nor do I aspire for it to be my nature. I will continue to call idiots idiots, because that's what they are. To say otherwise is to see the emperor's new clothes
when he is blatantly and hideously naked.